Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here from Cult Classics and Cult Following, and tonight I'm doing a recap breakdown of the latest episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is for episode 4, which is called The Whole World is Watching, which is a big tip off to the big denouement or climax of this episode, which I'm going to talk about kind of at length a little bit here. So I haven't done a watch party for the last 2 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier for a couple of reasons. I thought the first episode was really good. I enjoyed it, but I kind of feel like episodes 2 and 3, especially 3, and I'm going to get into this, have been dragging bad, and a lot of it is the direction of the show. I haven't liked it. It looks like a TV show, and it's a big step backwards from WandaVision. I think if anything, this Falcon and the Winter Soldier probably would have benefited better from being like a 2.5-hour movie. And that's not to say the actors have been putting the work in. It's just literally, especially in episode 3, you could tell things are being stretched out to kind of fill space. And I'm not a big fan of the way they've retconned Baron Zemo into turning him into this like rich dynastic baron. I think that it actually undercuts what made him a great character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who made him a great character in Captain America the Winter Soldier. I don't even like the name of the show. It's just like, ugh. But I'm telling you right now, there's good coming here. I just had to get that out of the way since I haven't done recaps for the last 2 episodes. I wasn't a big fan of the Madripoor thing. It just came across as kind of like fan servicey, but it's kind of like to show, Baron Zemo, it's got all these connections. And actually what it's done is it's kind of drawn attention to the fact that Daniel Bru's a great actor, and he's kind of like doing the best with the material, and actually making Zemo seem like a much more compassionate character or interesting character than Falcon and Bucky. And I'm sorry, the Flag Smasher thing has been really hard. So the thing episode 4 here does, The World is Watching, is it has finally set up Wyatt Russell's Captain America as the big bad of the series, which we all knew was coming. It's a 6-episode series. And they've done a good build with his slow turn. I know some people are just instantly like, I hate this guy, blah, blah, blah. He's done a really good job. And if you watch this, probably like in a binge later on, you'll realize, oh yeah, like he doesn't have powers. He's doing the best he can, and he's got his wingman, Battlestar, and props to the actor who played Lamar Hoskins here, because he's done a great job the whole time, kind of like building John Walker up. It's like, I know you're the man, you can do this, you don't need powers, and we've seen that. But the problem, I think this was one of the issues with last week's episode, where it just kind of seemed like, Battlestar and Captain America were just playing lapdogs to, following around Bucky and Falcon, and it just didn't work. It felt like a weird procedural. Episodes 2 and 3 both did this. And I'm just going to kind of just finish this offhand. At this point, if it's beyond fucking obvious that Sharon Carter is the power broker. If she's not, the power broker reveal means nothing, because there's 2 episodes left. They haven't introduced anybody else that like would even remotely benefit from this position in Madripoor. Now we know she's the only person in Madripoor. She has a maid servant at the end of the last episode. Sharon Carter is the power broker. Let's just like lay that down. We know it. And the fact that they've kind of stretched it out this far is kind of just like, anyway. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that, because I'm just not really interested in that and the Flag Smasher thing. Because at this point, I think the rest of the show should pretty much be Falcon and Bucky trying to save Karli from homicidal John Walker. And I like that the one thing this show has done really well, one of the things the show has done really well is kind of keep that thread going on from Stanley Tucci's Dr. Erskine character from Captain America, the first Avenger, in that the super soldier serum only elevates the best qualities in you. If you're a good man, it makes you a better man. If you're a bully, it makes you a bully. And I think we realized, especially in this episode with John Walker's battle with the Dora Milaje, is he's not a good man. He's a petty man, you know. As much as he struggled, because we have flaws, you know, but at the same time, you know, Steve Rogers was like, you know, the best generation, like this kind of man at a time that, like, you know, had good values at his core and didn't feel petty. He wanted to fight back for the little guy. And I think at his core, John Walker is a guy who's done good, but kind of out of vengeance and a need to like atone. And that doesn't make, on paper, it seems like it would make for a hero, but it really doesn't in his particular circumstance. Those 3 medals of honors he won, we now know he just looks at them as kind of garbage, you know, for something he had to suffer through. And he wishes he could have saved those people, but he was too weak to do it. And if he could, he would have like destroyed them, as he saw what he did with the one good flag smasher guy. And you know, it's like you set up these beats, and it's like this episode was written by Derek Kolstad, who wrote the who's written all the John Wick movies and Nobody. And I was like, okay, so we're gonna get some good character work in this episode, because Derek Kolstad is a good writer. And thank God, because when you have, like, you know, pedestrian directing, you need a good writer to back it up. And Wyatt Russell is doing a great performance. He's channeling his dad in a really interesting way. You know, and Anthony Mackie's kind of got this like really difficult part right now, because now we know essentially the way this beats have been set up, we're gonna have a showdown between Falcon and Winter Soldier. Excuse me, Falcon and Captain America at some point, where it's just going to be the strength of Falcon as a person, as a human being, you know, versus the roided up serum rage of John Walker. And he's going to beat him to take that that shield. And that's the only logical end to that storyline. But let's just break into the episode now that I've been kind of talking for a minute. We kind of see that flashback with Bucky and Oya, who, you know, one of the first Dora Uya, I can't say it right. You know who I'm talking about. And how she freed him from the control of, you know, Zemo's notebook. And that was a great little scene, a little flashback. I've noticed that, you know, Bucky only mentioned Shuri and her because, you know, at this point, you know, they probably don't know what they're going to do with T'Challa yet. And, you know, at least we have the Wakandans here, and that's a good point to bring in. That fight that happens, you know, where they're trying to get Zemo and he goes El Chapo, was really done really well. This was another episode where I think they made Zemo like the most interesting character again. Where he figured out, you know, how to find Dora Magini or whatever from the kids, and to try to track down Carly. And I like the actress who plays Carly. She's good. You know, we all knew that was a means to an end to get to the serum. And I think the best part of this whole episode, honestly, was a conversation between Battlestar and Captain America and Zemo and Falcon, and where you kind of saw the diametric opposition of both of them, where Zemo asks Falcon if he could take the serum. Woody says no, and then Zemo's actually impressed because kind of challenges what he thinks a little bit about the Avengers, you know. And then we see the complete opposite where Walker asks Hoskins, would you take the serum? He's like, oh hell yeah. And we don't know if Walker's really conflicted here, but he is, and that's a good thing. I mean, I like that Wyatt Russell's added a lot of gray to this character that could have just been kind of like a one-note bully. He's definitely had an arc, and that's one of the things I appreciate here. But that all leads to, you know, they're trying to find, the Flag Smashers decide that their whole thing now, the only way they can kind of make their last mark is by killing John Walker, because they think he doesn't have any serum. And unbeknownst to them, when Zemo was smashing all the serum, John Walker looks in the corner and he finds one vial. And of course, he ends up taking it because he feels weak, because he had that fight with the Dora Milaje. And as soon as he said, I couldn't beat them, they weren't even super soldiers. That's kind of like the little, we're going to bring in some internet politics here. That's the little like Gamergate, small man, whatever. Like, I'm a powerful white man and even I couldn't beat these women. I need to take the serum. And some people might disagree with me, but that's kind of like where they're going. And it's like, it's a little bit of indictment. I know that they've tried to put that little anti-woke thing in John Walker, but I like that Wyatt was able to kind of like make this guy seem like a real person and not so much like a widely drawn stereotype of just like white alpha male, or beta male wanting to be alpha male. And then it works really well here to where this show seems to be going. But yeah, once he realizes that something has happened to Battlestar and, because of, Carly and, John Walker just kind of rages and he goes after the one nice refugee guy, and he claims, no, it wasn't me. And then either he lost his head or he caved in his chest with that vibranium shield. But man, that like face he makes when he's got the shield at the end, he's like, ah! He just looks like a freaking psycho killer. And then it's just like everybody's with their cell phones, And that's going to be interesting to see where it picks up. This has been the first episode since the show started, since the first episode that I've just been really invested. And it's going to be really interesting what Falcon and Bucky are going to do. Like, we don't even know this guy. That little Ash thing from Army of Darkness. I don't even know this asshole. Or they're going to try to take him down. Because, Bucky could probably take him down. But, man, the way he was just bouncing the shield off him. The other thing that was really interesting was how the Dora Milaje are able to take off, just kind of like pressure point and take off Bucky's arm, which kind of says like, we trust you, but to this degree, we also keep a leash on you. And then the way one of the Dora Milaje, when she took down John Walker, just picked up that shield, because I've theorized about this, and it makes perfect sense because Thanos destroyed the original shield, that clearly that shield is Wakandan, and they were just going to take it back. Yeah, we've realized it. I'm sure it'll get spoken aloud in this episode. It makes you wonder, why Bucky and Falcon are so like, let's just steal the shield. Like, why don't you just go to Wakanda and get them to make you another shield? They did it for Steve. If this guy's not worthy and you explain the situation, I mean, it opens up a plot hole, but it's something that we kind of knew was there. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this episode. I feel like I had a lot to say about it, hence the running time of this recap breakdown, also catching up on 2 and 3. But yeah, John Walker, American murderer, killing a guy among hundreds of people in Latvia is probably not going to be the best PR move ever, especially since people know who he is, because they did set up that beat where someone got his autograph. And I love when they set up those beats to tell you something's coming. The world is watching, and it's like, ooh-wee, This actually opens up another big question here. I know John Walker is Captain America, and he's in Latvia. I would imagine if they signed off on this, if the U.S. and the UN signed off on this, that the UN sent him to Latvia because of the Sokovia Accords. What about the Sokovia Accords, man? It sure seems like they're not being adhered to right here. That's going to make the UN and the U.S. look bad, considering Captain America just killed a guy in a fucking foreign country in front of dozens of people, and 2 people who are clearly Avengers are standing right there, Sokovia Accords, anybody? Again, I enjoyed Derek Kolstad's writing, but this Sokovia Accord thing better come up, or someone else better mention it. I'm like, yeah, clearly this is a violation of the Sokovia Accords. John Walker needs to be arrested and put on trial at the World Court at The Hague for murder, you know? Or actually, let's rewind that. Marvel Universe, he should be arrested and sent to the raft. Because he's violating the Sokovia Accords. I mean, hello? I'm just saying. Nerd talk. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Because clearly, Carly's on borrowed time. I don't know how many super soldiers she's got left. It's like maybe one, two. I mean, she's probably going to try to make it back to, Falcon's family. And then, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm actually intrigued, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if Zemo disappeared here. I don't really think the show needs him moving forward. Like, if Zemo disappears here and doesn't come back, I'm actually fine with that. Save him for another day or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see where the show goes. So that's my thoughts, breakdown on this episode. If you're interested in more reviews, feel free to check out our channel here, Cult Classics. And we have reviews and other stuff on cultfollowing.co. So yeah, talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the video and peace out.